Okay, and welcome back, I guess. So, even though it's been a while and this is kind of late, I still see a lot of people show up to Discord with questions about the Dawi and well, how they work and specifically the Oathgold stuff. So, I guess I decided to throw a little primer out there that might help answer some of the questions. So, I'm creating a new Slayer. I won't be playing this anytime anytime soon because I get all sorts of other playthroughs right now. But um, one thing I wanted to point out, most people should see this, but you never know. These are the when creating your Dawi, you get to choose one of these, which doubles your Oathgold gain from victories. So, you got the humans, which assumedly I am one assumption I'm making, because you can never completely get full answers just yet, but is this also includes human bandits? Not 100% sure though. I've asked a lot of questions myself, and there's some things I still haven't had anyone able to answer. But so humans, elves, greenskins, undead, and then mountain regions. Personally, I think the greenskins are probably one of the better ones because no matter where you are as a dwarf, there are greenskins nearby. There are also more or less humans nearby as well. But you seem to be able to, especially if it ends up that it doesn't work on the bandits, but I think pretty sure it does. Initially, when one of the playthroughs, I chose this one, but it didn't work out as well as I hoped because a lot of the in between the mountains, like the smaller areas, didn't, even though they're kind of in the mountains, they still didn't count as the mountains. That'd be great for defending keeps and stuff, but so I'm going to go with that on him anyways. So let's go through this real fast. I can always change this later, so let's just choose. So it's supposed to be a quick primer, not a full-on. There we go. I don't know. I can change it later. I can also change it later, actually. So I'll change it later. I guess I could have just recorded this and then edit it, but I'm too lazy to edit. So down here is where your faction specific stuff starts. While faith isn't faction specific, you are limited to a handful of different shrines. So you got the Grimnar, you got, where is it? Further down than I thought. You got Velaya, and there's one other one. Actually, I think there might be two other ones, but they'll all be in the mountains near the dwarf areas. And Grungni, that might be all of them. There might be other. This Grimnar one is the only one that will give you free units, which is the Slayer unit, and the other ones is, I believe, a crafting bonus and a healing bonus. You have to look that up. That's kind of specific to the Dawi, those shrines specifically, but that's kind of how all shrines work with religion. So now the Oathgold, which is the biggest part of questions they have, is this is where you essentially find your Oathgold, I guess, reputation with the different guilds. So you got the engineers, runesmiths, mining expeditions, brewers, warriors, and there are 4 levels. Minus the one you start at. And the first 500, you get a level, and then 1,000, you get a level, and then 2,000. And that's not you donate 500 and then you have to donate 1,000. That means 2 500s will get you to that second level, and then you donate another 1,000 to get to the 2,000, and that's your last level. And they'll all add something else. For the engineers, it gives you access to artillery and guns, better guns. You can get some basic guns at the regular shop, but so, and you'll see because they'll slowly change. So when you do that, how do I support the engineer? That's where you donate your Oathgold. It didn't. I don't have enough. If you don't have enough, you're not going to see anything. He starts off with some. The more levels, the more gear that you get. And the first level at 500, you get access to the artillerymen, but unfortunately, you don't get access to the artillery till 1,000 gold. So you'll be able to grab the artilleryman before you can get your cannon. And other than that, it's just better gear with him, the artillery and better gear. And then you have, upgrade costs too, I should say. And so then you get onto the runesmiths, which are also pretty big. And what you can donate to them, besides gold, is you can actually give them metals and magic items. So this one has a kind of a hidden menu, because when you do this, it'll bring you to another menu. And even though that doesn't say much, it shows you more. So if it ever tells you to go to the menu and you can't find it, there you go. There's the new menu. This is where you learn new runes carvings, basically your enchantments, which you can do as a dwarf even if you're not a runesmith, as long as you have a runesmith companion. The magical items, if you get a magical drop that's not worth it for you to keep, you turn it in and they'll give you some Oathgold. And then the forge is how you enchant, but you can do that from the main city screen as well. That's where you donate your Oathgold. And then valuable metals, which again, I won't show any because I don't have any, is where you donate your metals. And the key thing to notice is you have to have a minimum amount before the menu will show up. So if I had like 1 Gromgil, it wouldn't show up still. I have to have, I believe the minimum stack is 5 things of Gromgil, and then it will show up that I can donate them. So be aware that if you don't have enough, it won't show up. And this one will open up the shop, his runesmith shop, which is mostly armor and weapons. I haven't seen anything unique from his shop. It's just like an extra shop compared to your trade. In fact, I have yet to see a legendary or fine version of anything from a runesmith guild. So I don't know if that's intended or an overlook, because then it's just easier to go to the trade menu until you can find a fine or legendary version. And then, of course, it will also reduce the cost for Iron Breaker upgrades. And then there's your mining and expedition guild. Oop. Which you obviously the same way as far as donating Oathgold, can I support him? And you can same amount of Oathgold you can donate. Troops this is where you have one of the ways you earn Oathgold as well, is you can provide. Obviously, I don't have any, but you could provide miners and prospectors, and they will give you Oathgold. Now, don't donate prospectors. At least avoid, because it's far more efficient. In fact, unless they changed it, the first version that I tested, you get less Oathgold for prospectors than you do for miners, even though even though prospectors are higher. I don't know if they changed that or fixed it, but last time I checked, that was the easiest way. And then they don't have a shop or anything, but they do open up a point where you can send. It'll say it right here. You can send some expeditions out, and they'll come back with gold, magic items, and gems. And the amount of time is, from what I hear, is variable. It usually seems like it's a really long time, and you can, at the end of your reputation, you can send up to 3. It doesn't cost you anything to send them, and you get something back, so you might as well always click it when you're there. And then the important thing is they seem to bring a lot of gems, which is good for enchantments and stuff like that. And as far as the increase in mining production and food production when you go down to the brewers, I haven't found an answer on if that's specifically just for maybe a fief that you own, or if it's for the kingdom you belong to, or if it's just the Dawi in general. It doesn't. I haven't found an answer to how that works, like where it applies. So, if anyone knows, let me know. But I think we'll need a dev to call in for that. So the next is the brewers, which I won't go in there. They're pretty much the same thing. What you donate to them is grain. You can donate grain, and again, you need the minimum amount before it'll show up, and you'll get Oathgold. The spotting range will apply to, obviously, I don't know if that'll apply to friendlies too. Again, one of those questions, who does it apply to? But it will apply to you, and you'll have a better spotting range. And then you can also hire rangers from him, just like you do from a tavern, only specifically rangers, and you have a chance to get the Bugman's rangers. Other than that, excuse me, not too much. And then the warriors, which is, reduce the upgrade of melee troops, increase, this is the important one, increase Oathgold gains, and I believe that's specifically from battles. So that's actually a very good one to start off with, actually, for two reasons. And then it boosts militias, which, again, no information on if it's specifically just your fiefs or friendly fiefs or whatever. But, in fact, I wonder if I can do this real fast. I'll show you one specific. Actually, I can do it this way. Oh no, I can't because I have to level them up. Okay, you'll just have to trust me on this. Go to the keep. So increasing that Oathgold is pretty good too, but then you can also donate. I don't have any, but you can donate high-level troops. Now, this is probably the best Oathgold trick that I've found as far as cost-effective, because the second level of the Slayer, which is there's only 2 levels of the Slayers, those are units you can either buy at Cadron here, or you get free from praying. And then once you level them up, you can turn them in. Now, when you level them up, it costs 1 Oathgold to level them up. So some people will be like, well, I'm holding on to my Oathgold maybe or something. I don't want to turn them in. But here's the thing. They are worth quite a bit of Oathgold. I wish I should have done this on another character because I could check directly. If I remember, it's upwards of 50 Oathgold or somewhere around there. So you spend 1 Oathgold to level up the Slayer, and then you turn them in and you get 50. And especially when you start to get mid-game where XP comes pretty easy for fighting little groups, you can boost your Oathgold gains by a lot and pretty dang quickly. For me, that's still one of the best ways outside of just having a lot of money to buy up troops and send it in, turn them in, and buy up grain and turn them in. But if you don't have a lot of gold to be doing that, it seems like that is the best way to do it. At least for me, it was the best way to do it. Other than that, once you get all these up, there's no other real use for Oathgold except this 10. I'm trying to think if there was another way, but it's mostly just your troop tree. Where is it? Your dwarves. No, not Kinslayer. Kinslayer? Wait a minute. I take that back. There is another one. Did they add that? Okay, well, either way. So I was hoping it would tell you the cost to upgrade, but like I said, you spend 1 Oathgold and some gold to upgrade him there, and you get a lot in return. You get, like I said, almost close, somewhere around 50 back. The only other thing to think about, or that I can talk about the Dawi, is no, you cannot ride the boars. Dawi do not get mounts, even though you can learn riding skill through various events and stuff. You cannot ride a mount. So there's that. And if you haven't dipped into the Dawi yet, they are kind of friendly, fire happy. So you kind of need to micromanage them a bit. They do have a huge resistance against the friendly fire from the explosives, but you still need to kind of micromanage them a little bit more. But if you can do that, they're an extremely powerful army. And I think that kind of covers pretty much everything that I can think of that's Dawi specific. Be careful in maps where there is some low level water, because Dawi, they can float, but they cannot swim. So I had gone to specifically the Birdstone somewhere around here. I don't remember where it was exactly. This one, I believe. I think that's the one. But anyways, there's a lot of low-lying water in it. And I had a whole squad of Dawi essentially get stuck in the water. And that kind of screwed me over for that battle. So be careful about that. You can actually jump in and push them out, but you got to do it like one by one, and it's not worth it. So just be aware that they will get stuck in the water in areas that most other, a regular sized person would just be able to walk through. So that would be a Dawi specific problem. And of course, the fact that they're kind of slow, and they are slower than your standard human troop, but they're heavily armored and a little bit tough to kill. And on a defensive note, you can wedge yourself into a corner as a Dawi, and because you're short and you don't have a good swing, they can't hit you because they'll hit the wall before they hit you. So if you want to try and hide in a corner and do that, particularly, shall I say, orcs, it's a bad thing. Humans, not as much, but I've been able to kind of hold a whole group up at a top corner somewhere like here with my Iron Breaker for long enough for help to arrive and hit them from the back. I guess the only other thing that only the Rune Lord can do any sort of magic. Oh, I suppose one other thing, the companions, you can hire human companions. The only ones that you really need to worry about would be the scout and the priestess for medical. You can technically grab like a Thane and try and train up the skills that way, but if you want to start out the gate with, kind of already a higher skill, then the priestess of Shala, is that how you pronounce it? Shalalala, which is somewhere in one of the human areas, and the huntsman for scout. But other than that, you can't hire anyone else. You can hire some of the tier troops, but unless you want to do some light, I think there might. I don't remember if there's any light horsemen that you can get, but you can only the regular troops, not the night troops. So you can get archers and stuff if you want. Oh, you can get quarrelers anyway, so I don't know why you'd want to. And beyond that, I believe that's actually everything now. I covered the artillery, the companions, the fact that they're short, again, even if you're not a magic user Dawi, as long as you have a Rune Lord in your party, you can do the enchanting part. You cannot hire spellcrafter magisters, spellcaster humans, but you can hire all the other humans as far as companions are concerned. And well, we'll call it there because I'm pretty sure that was everything that I can think of now that's Dawi specific. If I missed something or if someone has a question, maybe I know it. Maybe I don't, because like I said, there's still a couple of things I don't know about him because I haven't gotten answers yet. So hopefully that helps a couple people basically get attuned to the Dawi before they start, and so they don't have to search for as many questions as people who started early had to, and not have to worry about asking in Discord and waiting around for an answer in case everyone's sleeping or something. So hope it was helpful to someone.